Little Red Riding Hood was never meant to comfort children. It was meant to scare them into obedience. Because once upon a time, the wolf was real. This story didn't start as a fairy tale. It started as a warning about predators, temptation, and what happens when you ignore rules meant to keep you alive. Tonight, we're stripping away the safe version and uncovering the dark, violent, and very adult origins of Little Red Riding Hood. And by the end, you'll never hear this story the same way again. Most people recognize the Brothers Grimm version from 1812. A young girl, a red cloak, a basket of food, a sick grandmother. She's given one rule: stay on the path and don't talk to strangers. She breaks both. The wolf tricks her, eats her grandmother, then eats her too, until a hunter cuts them free. Even in this child-friendly version, the story includes deception, cannibalism, and a child being swallowed alive. That alone should tell you something is wrong, because this is already the softened version. Before the Grimm brothers, this story wasn't for kids at all. In 1697, Charles Perrault published an earlier version, and this one offers no mercy. There is no hunter, no rescue, no happy ending. The girl meets the wolf. She climbs into bed with him. She is eaten. The end. Perrault even explains the meaning clearly. Young women should never trust charming strangers, because not all wolves have fur. Some speak gently, some smile, and those are the most dangerous ones. This wasn't fantasy. It was a social warning. In early folklore, the wolf wasn't just a beast in the woods. It was a symbol. The wolf represented predators who hide behind manners, men who hunt with words instead of teeth, and danger that doesn't look dangerous at first. That's why the wolf talks. That's why he asks questions. That's why he waits. In older versions, he isn't even a wolf. He's a werewolf. And that changes the meaning completely. Also, the red hood wasn't part of the earliest versions. It was added later, and it meant something. In old Europe, red symbolized blood, sin, temptation, and the loss of innocence. It marked the moment someone was no longer a child. So Little Red Riding Hood isn't just easy to spot in the forest. She's marked. The story is quietly telling you this girl is vulnerable, and predators can see that. One of the oldest versions is known as the false grandmother, and it's far more disturbing than anything that came after. In this version, the wolf kills the grandmother, stores her flesh and blood, and tricks the girl into eating her without knowing it. A talking cat accuses her of cannibalism. Then the wolf tells her to undress and burn her clothes before joining him in bed. Piece by piece, she removes each layer. There's no confusion here. She knows something is wrong. This isn't a fairy tale. It's a warning about manipulation and control, not to forget. At the same time these stories spread, Europe was obsessed with werewolves. Not movie monsters, real people on trial. Between the 1400s and 1600s, men were executed for child murder, cannibalism, and making pacts with the devil to become wolves. One of the most famous cases was Peter Stomp, the werewolf of Bedburg. He confessed under torture to killing and eating children, assaulting women, and using a magic belt given by the devil to transform into a wolf. Truth didn't matter. Fear did. Stories like Little Red Riding Hood grew from that fear and helped spread it. This wasn't all superstition. wolves truly attacked people. During the Little Ice Age, winters were brutal and food was scarce. Wolves moved closer to towns and cities. In 15th century Paris, records describe packs of wolves killing dozens, possibly hundreds, of people. Children and women were often the targets. So when the story says, "Don't leave the path," it isn't poetry. It's survival advice. Little Red Riding Hood wasn't written to entertain. It was written to shape behavior. It warned people not to wander alone, not to trust strangers, and not to ignore elders. Because the cost of a mistake wasn't embarrassment, it was death. The real danger wasn't the forest. It was predators hiding in plain sight. Every version shares one detail. The girl is warned, and she ignores it. That's the heart of the story. Not courage, not adventure, not magic, disobedience. The tale doesn't ask why the wolf is evil. It asks why she listened. Over time, the blood was washed away. The sex was removed. The fear was softened. But the bones of the story never changed. Because it taps into real fears. Being watched, being tricked, making the wrong choice. Little Red Riding Hood survived because fear once kept people alive. And maybe, in a quieter way, it still does. If this changed how you see fairy tales, watch the next video on screen. It goes even darker.